Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. We are Ines and Alvaro, and we're going to be talking about retargeting and remarketing. Okay, so first of all, why do we need remarketing or retargeting? If we take a look at any company who is wanting to sell their services or their products online, and there is a study done by Nielsen and Google in which the average number of searches before a customer checks out is 6. This means that you need to try and get your customers to come back to your website as often as possible to increase the conversion rate. How do you get this to happen, or how do you get a repeat purchase is the objective of remarketing. There, retargeting and remarketing are very similar. The main difference is that retargeting focuses on pulling in new audiences or customers, mostly through ads on social media and other platforms, while remarketing often focuses on emails, SMS, push notifications, and other ways of re-engaging with customers.
So what is the objective of retargeting and remarketing? There are several objectives, and the ads that you use are different depending on each objective. So for example, for the objective of generating awareness, you want to show less targeted content, more general content to people that haven't engaged a lot with your brand. These ads in general have a lower click-through rate than other campaigns, and they are measured by impressions and engagement. This ad that I saw the other day, it was there's a company that I heard about in the class of Foundations of VC. I checked it out on Google. I clicked on the website and then close the tab. So I didn't engage at all with the company. So right now they're showing me ads to generate awareness of this company. They're telling me what they actually do on the ad, but they're not. There's no call to action on the ad. They don't want me to click on the ad and go to the website because they don't think I know about the brand enough. Another objective is to drive conversions. So yeah, here you do actually want people to click on your ad and take a next step. That's measured by website clicks, from submissions, and cost per lead. An example is this Icon Pass ad that I'm seeing in a website. So I went on Icon the other day. I clicked several times on the website, but it never ended up purchasing anything. They saw that there was a lot of engagement from my part, so they think that by showing me grab your pass, I will be more inclined to do so. Another objective is to complete the buyer's journey. So push customers to the next step in the buyer's journey. They're not yet ready to purchase anything, but you want them to get them one step closer. So this would be an example. I subscribed to HubSpot's newsletter a few months ago, and now they send me emails where they're trying to push me to start using HubSpot's free tools. And if you see at the bottom, they're also trying to get me to book a meeting with one of their agents. An objective is to increase customer lifetime value or introduce new products. So remind customers of your brand. And this is an example. I purchased a few things from Anthropology a few months ago, and now they send me all these emails showing me different products that I'm likely to like. And often they do get those products right. I'm actually very engaged with the website, although unfortunately I don't often buy anything. So it's that effort is a bit wasted on them. The common objective is to reduce cart abandonment. So this would be another example also from Anthropology. They're trying me to go back to my cart and to finally purchase whatever I have there. So how does retargeting work exactly? There's two types of retargeting. One is pixel-based and the other one is list-based. A pixel is a piece of code that is generated by your advertising platform, like for example, Facebook or Google. And then you ask your developer to place it on several sites of your website. So it could be product listings, so like a skirt, for example, or it could be the thank you page after you make a purchase. So you actually want to just check like which of your customers get to that site, because then you can target them according to what sites they visited. So once the pixel identifies where your customer has been on your site, then it adds a cookie to the browser of your customer. So then that information is sent to the advertising platform, and they will, as these customers surf the web afterwards and visit different sites that have nothing to do with yours, they will show skirt ads or skirt ads or whatever they visited. They will show them to the potential customers. So they'll be reminded constantly of the products that they liked on your website. So it has many advantages, namely it's timely, it's specific, and it's behavior based. And also pixels they're used to identify, for example, who saw an ad on a different website and then ended up purchasing your product. So for example, this would be an example of pixels being used. So I was doing some research on vitamins D a few days ago, and now I get this the Yahoo Finance website, even though this website has nothing to do with vitamins. Another interesting example is this one where I'm seeing the exact product listing of a dress that I visited a few weeks ago.
Okay, so let's talk about the second type of retargeting, which is list-based retargeting. In this case, you can use retargeting based on email addresses which you can collect from a number of different sources, such as the one which these customers use for Facebook, for Instagram, or for any other accounts. And the advantages of this type of retargeting is that customers can be targeted on more aspects than just behavior. However, there's also disadvantages with respect to the pixel-based retargeting, which is that it takes longer and it's less automatic than this type of retargeting. So, and the last thing is that people normally use different email addresses. So if you use this type of retargeting, you will have to replicate the number of emails as the number of emails which they have. And here we can see examples of how this would work on different platforms, such as on Facebook or on Google.
And now, so we've shown you how retargeting works. Now let's talk about how remarketing works. Remember that remarketing was used for customers that were already much more engaged with your brand. So customers for which you already have some information, like such as their name and their email address. So to do remarketing appropriately, you should segment your customers based on their purchases, their demographics if you have them, last time they interacted with your website, their lifetime value, their email open rates. So as much information as you have, and then create different messages to try to drive purchases. Each of these messages targeted to these customers. There are different channels to do remarketing. Like, well, the most common one is email, but SMS, WhatsApp, and app notifications are becoming more prevalent lately. And depending on what product you're selling, if it's a high value product, with like a high customer acquisition cost, you might want to add targeted phone calls or in-person visits at some stages. Like for example, the company that I used to work, we bought houses, so we would actually have phone calls and in-person visits at some stages of the funnel, because these were our customer acquisition cost range like between $1,000 and $2,000. Also, you should ensure that in this remarketing, you alternate interesting content and promotions so your customers don't always expect discounts, which can hurt your brand. And something important to take into account with email marketing is that often a lot of these emails end up in the spam folder. So a few tricks to avoid that is to always include unsubscribe buttons. Otherwise, Gmail will flag it as spam and it will end up directly in the folder. And then also don't send an excessive amount of emails. First, you can, even if it doesn't even if it doesn't end up in the spam folder, your customer is likely to unsubscribe if you're doing that. A few typical tools are HubSpot, Salesforce, Braze, which visited us the other day, MailChimp, Klaviyo. For example, here you can see that a targeted email that I received came from Klaviyo. You can see that in the here in the red box. And here you can see the problems if you don't segment properly. This was some research about some vitamins. I had 2 items on my shopping cart and I received 4 emails in one day. So what happened? It ended up directly in the spam folder.
What's remarketing and retargeting in summary? It's a way to keep your customers engaged and push them down the sales funnel to make them convert into sales. And one thing is that every brand is competing to target for the same set of eyes. So we have to be very educated as to what we can do the most effective way in order to maximize return on investment. And now we're going to be using Leo Sangria as a real life demo of how this is used to create a real life retargeting campaign. Basically, a remarketing campaign is very simple. It takes 4 basic steps. The first of all, and very importantly, we have to make sure that we have Google tags correctly implemented in our website. How this is done is not the topic of this video, but if you want to check whether this is done correctly, you can download this thing called the Tag Assisted for Conversions extension. And then you start it off and it will start telling you, you can go to any of your pages in your website and it will tell you whether there are any issues. If there are no issues, then that means that it's correctly installed. Once you know that Google Tags is correctly installed, you will start doing the actual campaign. To do so, the first thing is to create the audiences. Okay, so the audiences are the people to which this ad will be shown. In order to do that, you go to Tools and Settings, you go to Shared Library, all within Google Ads, and you go to Audience Manager. Once you're in Audience Manager, you have to create a new segment. Okay, in this case, we're going to be using website visitors as the target. We have to give it a name. I want to target people who have visited both my website and my Instagram accounts. I'm going to call it visitors of website and Instagram. Okay, this has a high level of engagement because they've already visited multiple areas. So we will use the visitors web page who also visited another page. For the URL, we will use the homepage equals, and then we will also want people who have visited our Instagram account, regardless of the language they have it set up with. Okay, and then we'll press create segment, and this segment is now visible in my Google Ads Audience Manager. Thirdly, before we create a campaign, we have to make sure that we have all the digital assets which we want to be showcased in this campaign. This includes all of the pictures which want to be shown, all of the text which we want to accompany the ad. All of those types of things need to be created beforehand because we don't have time to cover this, we're going to go and we're going to assume that this has already been done beforehand. Once we have that, we're going to create the actual campaign. So you go to the homepage of Google Ads, you go to campaigns, you press the plus button and you press new campaign. Okay, because the audience which we're targeting already has a high level of engagement, we're going to put sales as the objective of this campaign. We're going to press continue. Then we're going to use search. What do we want to have as our goal? Website visitors. What's our website? leosangria.com. What's the campaign name? Let's put growth hacking as the campaign name. We press continue. And then start a new campaign. We want to focus on conversions. Okay, next. We want to have both search networks and display networks. As we are only selling sangria for now in New York, let's put New York State as the target location. Okay, language, we can use English. And then here's the important part. When we use this audience segments, we're going to be selecting those audience which we have created beforehand, so visitors of the website and Instagram. And this means that only the people who have visited both my website and my Instagram will be seeing these ads. We put targeting so that they really, only those people which we're targeting see this ad, and then we press next. And then after this is when we can put the keywords and ads. As I said, this has already been done beforehand. So this is part of the step 2, which you need to incorporate in Google Ads before you carry out a particular campaign. And this is more or less what they would see when they're navigating the internet. And then if you go to next, you can set your daily budget. So Google is recommending $34.20 per day. You press next, and then this is where you review the content of the campaign you have just created. Google is checking for errors. The campaign name is growth hacking. Here is the audience to which it will be targeted. Here's a description of high-level description. And if you press publish campaign, then the campaign will be live. I hope this was very useful. And of course, if you had any doubts, just send me an email and I will be very happy to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.